This week in our collective heads, wanna put an old rumor to bed. Stereotype that you've all heard, how we're all just angry video game nerds. Most of us have actual jobs, kids and families and cats and dogs, yeah. This week in our collective heads, this week in our collective heads.
Welcome to This Week in Our Collective Heads. I am Kevin, and I am joined by Patrick, the future Floridian. So we're going to kind of cover this. This is going to be kind of something we're doing afterwards. But the news for TWIOCH is that Patrick is moving, but TWIOCH will continue.
Yes.
So,
we've had a lot of questions, a lot of misconceptions about that.
Right.
TWIOCH continues. We're going to continue via like Google Hangouts and all that. Well, the show will continue. Audio will basically be the same. We'll try to apologies in advance for the audio here and the audio in the future when we work out the kinks. But we're going to get
going to be a bit echoey today, and we're sorry about that.
Yeah.
But you know, when you remove all the fluff from the walls, that's what happens.
Yeah, I'm actually checking the audio now. But yeah, we had sound paneling all around here as well as other things.
We're professionals.
Because we are professionals, and now we have none of that. So it gets a little echoey. We apologize, so try to stick through us in that. If this is your first episode, this isn't the norm, I promise you.
Yeah.
We do gaming news every single week, as well as a little bit of other stuff because we ramble. But yeah, we do gaming news every single week, and we try to give you the gaming news that you need because there's a lot that comes out. This week wasn't so much, but sometimes it's hard to sift through everything to understand what's happening and what the actual context is.
Yeah. We also like to try to find some stories that are interesting that could lead to trends.
Yeah.
We try to find stuff that is like, you know, the big news is it's Battlefront and it's microtransactions and stuff, and we've discussed that. We've touched on those topics, but like you know, there's other interesting stuff that comes out, and one of our specialties, one of our big features that we do all the time is backwards compatibility, because nobody really talks about it, but Xbox, like, it was the biggest news of E3 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And they were like, backwards compatibility, and then we're like, okay, but are you really going to do this? And they have. They have consistently been putting out new games, and old games, but they've been consistently bringing games to this platform. And one of the big things this week is they have made Mass Effect 2 and 3, which have been backwards compatible games. Yeah. But Mass Effect 2 and 3 have been brought to the Xbox One store. Yes. And you can buy them, via the online component. That guy's imaginary.
Probably.
That kid, he's imaginary. Spoilers for Mass Effect.
He is either imaginary or it's part of the indoctrination.
Yeah.
Depending on what you believe.
The important thing is he's not there.
He's not actually.
But anyway, so this is really cool. I like the idea. Mm-hmm. I would be perfectly fine with them having a section of the store that's just, hey, here's backwards compatible games if you want to buy them. Because
they actually have that. If you go to Xbox, sorry, because I know you don't have an Xbox One. Okay. If you go on Xbox One, it's like, hey, here's some games, and it's like, hey, here's some Xbox 360 games. Like, it has a separate section where you're like, blah.
See, I thought this was like the start of a new thing.
No, well, so yes and no. Like
I'm learning with you guys.
So sometimes there are certain games that you can't access via the Xbox One store. Okay. You have to go. Like, if you're on a PC, you're like, oh, I want to search for this game, and you click it, and it brings you to a completely different, like, domain and website, and it's a different design. It's the
Better sign in.
It's the old 360. You have to sign in again. Yep. It's ridiculous. It's like if you're on PlayStation when you have to go between, like, PlayStation Store to any account services stuff. Yeah. And it's like, oh, this is a different domain. This is different layout. Everything.
I'm somewhat paranoid as far as, like, connections, and so, like, when everything just switches on me like that.
Yeah, and you're like,
I'm like, X, get me out of here.
Yeah,
I don't want it.
I immediately pause. I immediately look up to see if it's HTTPS. Mm-hmm. Check out and make sure the domain doesn't have some weird where it's like PlayStation.store.stuff.cm, and you're
see, I'm also particularly nervous about anything that has an L or a capital I. Because you can't tell.
You can't tell. Yeah, that's a good point. Because they have it just like...
Yeah, because like P1A station.
Yeah. Didn't think about that. And yeah, they look almost identical.
Yep.
But back onto gaming. So we got news for the PlayStation Plus games for this upcoming one.
Actually, there were a couple of other backwards compatible games. I don't have the notes up right here.
Yep.
But
we got we actually have Peggle 2. Which is
Peggle. Fun. I actually like Peggle 2.
Yeah. We also got Marlo Briggs. Now, this game is actually part of the Games with Gold as well, which I'm very excited to see this because it seems like it's an unapologetic action game with a little bit of sci-fi in there. This is it's different, but it's the unapologetic fun that I was hoping I was going to get out of Deadfall Adventures.
Wait.
Yeah.
That looked like... It wasn't. I don't know. It looked like somebody I knew. I'm not good with actors.
All right. Well, it looks awesome, and I can't wait to play it because this looks really fun.
Yeah.
We also got Earth Defense Force 2017, which I've played another Earth Defense Force. I'm guessing this is. I don't know if this is a different one because there's multiple.
No, this is the one This is the one.
Okay, well then I played it, and I guess if you already have it and if it's already for free, I mean, it's not bad. It's just, to me, it wasn't really worth the time.
Yeah.
Also got Sonic Adventures 2.
Is this the legendary bad one?
You're thinking of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay, then is this the one where he makes out with the chick?
I think that's the one on Dreamcast, if I'm not mistaken. The one with the actual human-ish chick.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that one. But either way, it's not the worst. It's It's Sonic 3 in 3D, and Sonic in 3D is never great.
Yeah, it's okay when it's like the little sphere thing that you had in Sonic 3.
Yeah.
It's okay for about 45 seconds. Then put me back in 2D and let me play real Sonic.
That's exactly right, yeah.
So
to the PlayStation Plus games, though, we got Kung Fu Panda, something of fists, and the Legendary Legends. Sorry, Showdown of the Legendary Legends, which is so Kung Fu Panda, the name. So I don't know. I don't know a lot about it. It looks like a fun, a childish fighting game.
I think it's a Smash Brothers.
It looks like
there's a couple of shots where they'll have somebody go like off screen, and then you'll see the little. Like whenever a character dies in Smash Bros.
So it could be fun. I
think that's what it is.
And sounds like some fun mayhem. Yeah. We also got the Siberia collection, which is Siberia 1 and 2. I don't know a lot about this, but I'm very excited to jump into it.
It was highly acclaimed at the time.
Okay.
So I'm hoping it'll be good.
Yeah. And we also got X-Blaze, which I'm thinking that you're going to be excited about.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
Oh, sorry, I thought this was something else. This is a different game. I thought it was a shooter game. I don't know a lot about this game. Pretty People? I don't even know if this is like a dating thing or what.
Dating thing or a visual novel or a fighter.
I don't know.
Because this art style will be one of those.
One of those things.
That's how this works.
I was thinking of Forma 8. This is the one that I was thinking this is going to be right up your alley in regards to gameplay. Not necessarily that you're going to love it, but interesting stuff. I love the art style. The art style looks really cool. It looks
I also like the fact that it's puzzly stuff, and I don't like puzzly stuff most of the time, but like this part right here that you're seeing on screen where you're like running away from different monsters and trying to figure out stuff like that, like it looks like there's some combat elements to it, and that looks like Chip's Challenge, and Chip's Challenge was awesome.
Yeah.
So like
we also got Wanted Core.
Yes, and this does look I'm about this one because twin stick shooting is just my jam.
It is.
And so if I'm not mistaken, based on what I've been able to find out so far, I think it's a co-op thing, and it is on Vita, so
woohoo, Vita. Very cool.
And I think there's like, the dude is like a shooty McShooter guy, and then the girl is like a technological sorceress or something, like she's throwing lightning bolts around, and I'm like, I want to shoot things and blow stuff up with magic.
Looks fun.
I'm about that.
That sounds fun to me.
It got a low review score on IGN and stuff. I generally try to stay away from reviews whenever I can, but this was just one that, like, while I was trying to find the trailer and just try to find the basis of it. But I'm going in with high hopes because it's a thing that I like. Yeah. But there have been some that have fallen short.
It's like me in horror movies. Like, I watch a lot of bad ones. And some that are, like, mediocre. I'm like, that was good. because I'm so used to the bad ones.
Yeah, but I'm also able to pick apart, because I know that genre so well, I'm able to kind of pick it apart.
But what's also really good is Darksiders 2. Now, we did get Darksiders 2, I want to say a year ago or so.
Yeah, but this is the definitive edition.
Yes, it is.
And it honestly looks really good.
I love Darksiders. Darksiders and Castlevania, the recent Castlevanias, are like two of my favorite games that I wish we'd get more of. So I'm happy that we're getting this. We're happy we're getting the definitive edition on this. So I think it's going to be pretty fun. And I mean, you get to play Death, so
yeah,
Death is always.
cool.
Cool.
Death is cool.
Death is awesome. Yeah. But on to other news. We got some other things. Some sad news.
Some very sad news.
Yeah.
So Demon Souls, the best of the Soulsborne games.
Yeah.
My opinion,
Hands down.
Fight me. The online servers are getting shut down. They tried to shut them down like a long time ago, and then everybody went, "No, please don't do that." And they're like, "Okay, we'll leave them up."
Yeah.
There is a rumor going around based on nothing, as far as I can tell, but E&B, epic name, bro.
Yeah.
For those and not in the Soulsborne community, he says that the fact that Atlas, Bandai Namco, who handled distribution in Europe, and Sony, who handled distribution in Japan, all three of those are shutting the servers down at the same time. And so he says, maybe they're gonna do a big push and do a remaster and upload new servers. And I'm like, this isn't evidence of that. I want that.
Yes.
I will pay.
Yes.
I will gladly pay Sony. I will pay $60 or Atlas, Bandai, whoever I need to pay. I will gladly pay $60 or $80 for that game on my PlayStation 4 where I can play it again.
That being said, understanding the velocity of money and how all of this works, put it on for $20 and you're going to have a ton of people jump on it. For a $20 price point, you're going to have all the people who played Dark Souls but have not played Demon Souls all jump in on this game.
Yeah.
$20 is the perfect price point on this. Get in there, do a remaster at $20. In addition to that, you don't have to worry about DLC and all of that.
Yeah.
So I would love if they actually finished that last Archstone.
I want that. I want to know what's behind that Archstone.
I would love to do that, but at the same time, I think it may ruin it. So don't worry about that. Just $20.
Yeah.
Let me play Demon Souls again.
There is also the element for me anyway. The last Archstone represents the incomplete world. What has been permanently lost to the mist.
Agreed.
And so in my mind that's what that represents.
Yeah.
Is this world that was never completed. If we could get a Demon Souls 2, that would be amazing. We anticipate Bloodborne 2 within the next year or two because Miyazaki said we have two big projects, one that's not what you're expecting and one that is more along the lines of what you're expecting. So that's going to be
within
Bloodborne 2 most
within
likely.
8 months.
Yeah, because that. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that gets announced next week at PSX.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
So those servers are getting shut down in February. So I'm gonna finish. I am gonna finish my Shadow of War playthrough, but I'm going back. I'm gonna play Demon Souls again because
do it while you can.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it one last time with all the servers and notes and everything turned on. I actually mostly play those games by myself. Like my first Demon Souls run through. I got help with a Flame Lurker, and that was it. But the notes are hilarious, and people keep coming up with new ways to make jokes in the game with this very limited glossary of terms, and I enjoy the heck out of that.
Yeah, I like the attack butthole one. That's still, I know it's class. I know it's like it's used, but every time you see a body draped over like a banister or something,
that or try piercing attack.
Try piercing attack. That's a good one.
That's mine. Yeah. That's the one I do.
Yeah. So we were talking about games that were like Super Smash Brothers earlier, and Gang Beasts is coming out in 12/12.
Gang Beasts is not like Super Smash Brothers.
Oh come on, it's close enough. The ridiculous It's not necessarily like it, but just jumping in with your friends and beating the crap out of them.
Yeah.
But also the environmental hazards in this are hilarious. This is a game I want to play with Whitney or with anybody and everybody else.
What they're showing here makes it look like you can control the characters.
Yeah. See, that's what I thought was going on.
You can't.
Oh.
Like,
I didn't know that.
No. What I'm saying is, like, these are people who know what they're doing.
Oh, okay.
And, like, this is much like that guy. You know, he dragged somebody over and deliberately threw him off.
That would be me.
In my experience, that's not what happens. One of you picks the other one up, and then you kind of go over toward the edge, and then the other person tries to pull, and then you'll probably both fall. But like, it's this game is hilarious.
It looks really
and I played it at a UGF party maybe a year or so ago.
Yeah.
And this one, and there's like another fighting game where like there's like a baseball bat, and you're trying to. It's like everybody has a baseball bat. There's a baseball, and the baseball is the only way to kill people.
I did see that.
So you can like you can beat each other up or whatever, but the only way to actually kill somebody is to smack the baseball into the.
Okay.
And so like I love the way that fighting games have expanded, like Dive Kick.
Yeah.
The one button fighting game. Or 2-button fighting game.
This is coming out December 12th on
December 12th
PS4.
on
I was looking to see the
PS4.
price,
So this is next week.
Point on this. I'm gonna guess
$20.
$10, $20, something like that. Yeah, which isn't bad. That looks fun. I'm gonna definitely grab it. I want to play it. Does it have an online component, or do you know?
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
But local is the way to play this game.
Oh, of course. Speaking of playing games, because that's what we talk about anyways, and there's no real segue into this. Mario has a cereal coming out, and it's a cereal. Yeah. So in addition to with the So in addition to it being a cereal, it also functions as an amiibo. So the bottom of the box will actually let you launch in game. So if you're playing Super Mario Odyssey, then using this will give you coins or a heart, which is not really anything at all.
Yeah.
And I know this. I mean, this is technically a cereal, and they're giving you this functionality as an addition.
I like the question block marshmallows though. Like I'm about that.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about this though is that it does not matter how the cereal tastes. I still want it. And I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna pick me up some Mario.
I'll try it.
Some Mario cereal.
I don't eat cereal, but I'll try it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah,
So what's your breakfast? I do like oatmeal and like protein shakes and stuff.
I either do a protein shake, which I make, or I've been eating complete cookies, which are they're a protein cookie.
Okay.
And you can get like chocolate chip, snickerdoodle, lemon poppy seed, which is really good.
Not poppy.
Oatmeal raisin. Some of them aren't that great. Some people like, it's all up to the individual. They end up being about $1 a piece, but that's like a breakfast.
It's a breakfast.
I use them as like a quick breakfast, or if I have to have a quick meal, I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to eat for another 3 or 4 hours, and I'm really hungry. It helps.
See, that's what I love about protein stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's our cereal segment for this week.
Yeah.
What do we got next?
We got the team that brought you PUBG, not the creator of PlayerUnknown, though. I made to make sure we specify this. It is just
right.
It's not the team. It is not the creator.
No,
it is the team that he hired to help him do PUBG.
Right. It's Ascent.
Yes.
The group.
Yes. Yeah. I have to make sure this because everyone's reporting this wrong.
Okay.
They're doing a Steampunk MMO.
Right.
They're doing a Steampunk MMO. And so some of the alpha play on this alpha gameplay looked pretty good. I mean, MMOs are hard to get right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like what I've seen of this. It looks like it's combining a lot of fantasy and steampunk all together.
Steampunk and fantasy is a beautiful mix that does not get put together often enough.
World of Warcraft does it slightly because gnomes have their engineering.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
I can see that.
So they have like steampunk motorcycles and different things that you're like, oh, that shouldn't be, but that's what steampunk's all about.
Yeah,
it's like that doesn't make sense, but it does because it somehow works with steampunky.
And the response with steampunk, the response to that doesn't make sense is, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
It's fine. And I like that approach.
I had to put the caveat in here because everyone's talking about PUBG. Everyone has specifically referred to PlayerUnknown, referred to the creator,
right?
And they're doing it wrong.
Yes.
So I want to put that in there, but they're working on a Steampunk MMO. I had to put that out there because so many people are like, "How did he have time to do this?" Or "Is this what he's been working on this whole time?" No,
they've been working on the game. They just released actual PUBG.
Actual PUBG just finally came out. And speaking of that, if you've saw the recent news, Fortnite Battlegrounds Battle Royale has had more players this week than PUBG.
Yeah. Well, and they're suing one of them, so that's fun.
It's not going to be anything. That lawsuit's not going to happen.
But it is bizarre. There was a 14-year-old kid who was like cheating. And it did kind of raise the question of, okay, so Let's Plays, that's allowed. That's you're within your legal right to do that. But when it comes to a free game that relies on microtransactions and you're showing people how to steal, that's I mean, like, my favorite part of the whole story though is the 14-year-old kid's reaction. They were like, you need to take this down, and he was like, no, and launched a counter or whatever. And then they were like, okay, you really need to take this down. After this, our only option is to sue. And because it's a 14-year-old kid, he went, no, I'm not gonna. And so they did, and then his mom was like, well, you have to have parents' permission, and you can't, like, she's being all, it's weird. It's very weird.
That's what happens when 14-year-olds get on the internet and start doing things like that. I mean, that's why Google and all these others and YouTube, like, they're licensed. They're like, oh, you're under 18, you're not allowed to have a YouTube channel. Or you gotta, like, specifically because of that. There's so much legality involved. Where you're talking about a minor doing these things. And suing a minor is just interesting.
And speaking of minors, the other kind. Gnomes, minor, something. I don't know. I don't know the lore behind Hearthstone. That looks like a mine.
Yeah, sure. Dwarves mine.
Dwarves are miners.
So the next Hearthstone expansion, Kobolds and Catacombs is coming out this week, actually. But there was some Hearthstone news in regards to the 2018 plans, and saying we're going to have 3 sets that come out this year, come out next year, I should say. And they're doing away with the adventures. Now, adventures are like a separate bit of, like, almost like a single player story challenges.
It's the campaign.
Yeah, which is really just like, they're just challenges and weird situations for them to put you in, and then you have to, battle it out and find a way. Which, so they're going to do away with that. They're going to just have 3 expansions. And those 3 new sets of cards with, they said, however many cards. So, like, not specific. They're just like, it's going to have some cards.
We're going to have stuff
It's going to do a thing. There's going to be 3 of them. So having those 3 expansions, each time the expansion comes out, there's always a little single-player campaign-ish thing where you're understanding the story and the context.
Right.
If you play through that, you get a bunch of cards, plus you get some gold and all that stuff.
Right. It gives you a head start and kind of introduces you to new mechanics, new cards, new strategies, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So that's coming out 2018 for Hearthstone, which I'm excited about. I like the additional... the additional cards that they're putting out, and I like the way they switch up the meta, because the way that they do it is they let you play the most recent sets and the like generic stuff and recent stuff, and then everything else goes into Wild, which is just do whatever the heck you want. The problem with Wild is you get all these weird interactions between each other, so the regular standard makes it easier to control the meta, so that way you don't have turn 4 wins all the time.
And it also allows them to do new things that would break a previous generation. And, like, basically this is the EA and Take-Two. This is our last news thing, so we'll kind of close out on this. But, like, EA and Take-Two have been like, microtransactions, games as service. This is how we do it. We put microtransactions in everything. Blizzard and their consistent working, noticing, like you were talking about, balancing the meta.
Yeah.
This is what they do with Overwatch. This is what they've done with Diablo 3.
Yeah.
This is what they've done. Like they, when they launched it, it worked, but there were a lot of issues with it too, and so they were able to bring it up and do more with it.
Yeah.
And they have that's how you do games as a service. If you want to know how to do microtransactions, devs, look at Blizzard.
Blizzard is doing it right. Hearthstone is making them so much money, but you don't have to pay for it unless you want to. The people what happens is you have people who justify it, like you or I would go, oh, I'm having fun, I'm playing a lot of this, throw $5 or whatever.
Yeah.
I throw about I'll be honest, I'll throw about $60 a year at Hearthstone. And that's like a 5 here. Oh, so this new expansion's coming out. I've amassed some gold. I'll take all that and buy packs, and I'll throw about $20 at it.
Yeah.
They have packs that, like, there's like a discount right now if you want to buy 50 packs. There's a discount on that, which ends up being, I think you get 1 pack free. So I prefer to just, I'll grab $20, so 20 packs of cards, plus all the, I think I'm going to have probably 16 or 18 packs from my regular gold.
Nice.
So I'll be able to take all those new packs of the new cards, unwrap all of them, and figure out what I want to do, and then go through there. By the way, I know I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to go through. I want to do a Hearthstone for beginners set where I go through. First of all, the tutorial. I think I may have done that. First of all, the tutorial.
You did 3, I think.
Okay.
And I watched them, and then I didn't play Hearthstone.
Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to redo those, or go from there either way, and then I'm going to take it and because I want people to understand how to play these different styles, but also to understand why certain cards are better than others, and you can look and evaluate a card very quickly to figure out what's better than what is this better than this, and when should you play a certain card. Because there are some cards that it says, oh, this is a 2-cost card, but you shouldn't be playing it until probably a certain turn 5 or so. Yeah. And you don't know that unless you've played it a lot.
Yeah, I don't know any of these things.
There's certain ones.
I'm like, oh, I've got 2, so I can do that 3 and that 2. There's my game.
Yeah. And
that's how I play.
There are a lot of most of the cards are that way, but some of them they have the most value later in the game. Some of them have hardly any value in late game, so you may or may not want to even have very many of them. We'll talk about that later, though. Let us know in the comments what some of your favorite things on Hearthstone and what your favorite customizable card trading game digitally is, or do you prefer the actual paper? And we'll talk to you later.
Thanks for watching This Week in Our Collective Heads. Subscribe over here and click the bell, and that way you'll know about any new videos that we put up, because we put up a lot of gameplay, a lot of stories from games and stuff like that, and gameplay is down here.
Yeah, and you got more editorials and news stuff down here. Check it out.